With me right now, I have got Ryan Spencer Cook, guitarist for Gene Simmons. You played with Gene Simmons, most recently Ace Frehley
Yep.
for
Yep.
years.
Yep.
You are probably the biggest Kiss fan I know.
Okay, that's saying a lot.
Well, I mean, just look at your wall.
Oh my gosh, it's everywhere.
It is.
It's everywhere down here. We're like Trekkies. Listen,
That's awesome.
all of it to being the Kiss dork.
Well, I always love talking to you. It's bittersweet under the circumstances
It is.
with Ace. We lost him October 16th, right? It's been,
Yeah.
gosh, it feels like it's
Oh my gosh. It feels longer than that only because, and I'm not ungrateful, but it feels longer than that only because news of his accident was before his passing. And so you know how the internet is and people are just in general. It doesn't mean they're bad people, some of them. It's just news gets not always the right news or the correct news. It's just news. And as you can imagine, people that I knew and people that I don't know that found my number, everyone wanted to reach out and talk about it. So it feels like it's been going on for a long time, but nothing like his wife and, daughter have been going through or anything. And I went like for them, but no, to answer your question, it was like, it feels like it's been a lot longer just because it hasn't stopped yet.
right. Well, and I was one of those, I saw the news hit and I didn't believe it. I was like, no, this is made up. There's no way. There's just no way. And then I'm texting you going, Ryan.
I wish it was made up.
I know.
I do. It's so weird because Ace was 74 and I want everybody to know that I loved him. But he was 74. And when some people in the business get that age, a lot of them decide that they're going to retire. Hey, I've had a good life. I've done it. And I kind of thought, I don't even know why I thought this. I kind of thought that in 26, he might go, guys, this is my last year in 2026. Let's tour. And the last show will be in this city on this date. And we'll high five and call it a day. I just, in my head, kind of thought that might be what happened.
Yeah.
And then it was an accident. Accidents are accidents.
Right.
And it's just like, well, so much for me planning anything. You're thinking I know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just not what anybody wanted to hear. How long? I mean, he was put in an induced coma, right?
Yes.
And he was in the hospital for a couple weeks.
Yeah, he was.
But really thought that he would pull out of it.
Dude, me too. Like, I kind of thought just because as Ace, he would outlast everybody.
Yeah, I know.
I know he thought he would.
I mean, yes. I think the best way to process this is to celebrate, though, the fire that he brought to this world.
Yeah, he did.
And he did bring it.
We had so much fun together, and he drove me crazy sometimes. And now I laugh about how he drove me crazy sometimes and all of that.
How did he drive you crazy, Ryan?
It was just because he was just like, he had that persona of a spaceman.
Yeah.
Okay. And he kind of spacey, and he was always a little unsteady on his feet and everything. That whole persona played into who he really was, because he just, sometimes it would be like he'd be talking to him, be like, squirrel. And he would just completely change subjects and be like, well, he didn't. Okay. All right. Whatever. And he was really good at changing his mind about stuff like right on the fly and everything.
You just have to roll with it.
You gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
And, it lasted 7.5 years. We were with Gene for 2 years before that. And then Gene went back for the end of the road tour and then handed us over to Ace pretty much. Ace says from Gene.
Ace says what?
Ace says that he stole us from Gene.
Yeah. But Gene kind of, to be fair, offered you up.
Yeah. And, and Gene had to, and we were done. We only had like 3 shows left after that. We were in Australia together. And then Gene was really going back for the end of the road tour rehearsals, which obviously ended later than was supposed to because of COVID.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but Gene was at the funeral. I got to see him.
Yeah. All the KISS members were there. That's so cool. Everybody was able to come together.
Yeah, it was. And it was surreal because I think I told you before when we talked, I was a fan since I was 7.
Yeah.
And my sister brought me home my first KISS poster. I still remember it. when I started loving them. And she and I were talking, and I told her, I was like, yeah, it was pretty surreal. It's
Yeah.
weird. She's like, how? She's like, imagine how, but how? I said, well, the four original guys were in the room, and I'm so happy they were there. And
Yeah.
it was just, I was happy to be there and sad to be there.
Right. I
And
totally understand.
I guess that's the definition of bittersweet for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it was it kind of a more somber thing? Was it a celebration?
There was
A lot of laughter mixed with tears type of thing?
all of it,
Yep.
all of it, because it wasn't a really large in attendance. It was very close people, and there was crying, of course, and then there was laughing because someone would bring something up and be like, "If oh God, he would have loved that," or just whatever. And like I said, as much as I tease about, oh, he could have driven me crazy about whatever. I mean it when I tell you that I wish he was here this weekend to drive me crazy about
Of
something
course.
that I was leaving tomorrow to go to the airport to fly somewhere to meet him.
Yes. I mean, you got to share some stories. What are a few of your favorite Ace moments?
Oh God. Well, we were going through when we were in Australia and Japan. Usually when a band, I know you know this, usually when a band goes to one of those two places, okay, if you do Japan, you can pretty much count on you're going to do Australia.
Mm.
First, because you're already over on that same kind of the side of the earth. It's close. It's very expensive to go. So it's like, let's take care of this while we're here. Anyway, going through customs, you know how you have your passport.
Yep.
There was someone with us that said, hey, Ace, take him out and show him get your photo ready for your, we're going to go through customs. He pulls out one of the 1977 Kiss trading cards of him and his makeup. And we're like, you have this
I
in
don't
your
think that's going to work, dude.
We're like, carry this? And it's just so funny. He would take turns on stage forgetting our names. And I'm not the best with names,
And you're talking what, 5 years in? He's
Oh,
still
yeah, 7. As recently as a month ago. He would take,
really.
oh, yeah. And you meet a lot of people, too. And I know this. And I meet a lot of people. And to me, for a while, everybody is, hey, dude, or man, or hey.
Yeah.
I remembered his name, obviously, since it goes back my whole life. But he would take turns forgetting our names. And, like, I remember one night in the last couple months when he was going to introduce me, he usually says, and on the bass, we've got Ryan. Right?
Bass guitar, it's got strings. I mean,
And sometimes he'll just look at me and I'll just know. I'll be like, oh God. But the other night he goes, and on the Ryan, we've got bass.
Ryan, we've got.
Like, what? We're just like, that's him. And then he and I, we'd always do a bow at the front, at the end of the show. And he and I would split stage right. Scotty and Jared take off stage left. It's just easier. And he would always come over and say something to me. I never knew what he was going to say. He'd always put her arm around me and walk me off. And the other night we were leaving, he goes, your hair looks good. Okay, thanks for noticing.
It does look good, Ryan.
And you just never knew. I mean, he would
So
he really believed in aliens and space travel and all that. I mean, we would hear all about it, and it was funny,
he really did have a great sense of humor, and I've mentioned this to you before, but we have a mutual friend, and he came into the studio a couple times, and I would send goofy messages through Ace to this guy that I used to date.
Yep, yep.
Just to kind of rub it in and give him crap. And Ace loved that. It was so funny.
I'm sure. Oh yeah, he did. It's just weird. So we went to the service, and then we did not attend. There were two services. Service on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day that was, which was the visitation where everybody went, and then there was the one where they actually went to the graveside the next day, which I didn't get to attend. But like I said, he was fun. He was funny. I still, I really haven't stopped thinking about him since this whole thing happened, since the accident or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be insensitive or inconsiderate. I want to stop thinking about it for a minute, because it hurts my heart,
Consuming, yeah.
But I don't want to forget him.
Right.
I just want to be able to accept that, okay, and not be very sad about it. I'm still sad.
Oh, for sure. And that's time.
Yeah, and it'll get better. I know that.
What would you say? I mean, what did you learn from Ace playing with him for the 7.5 years?
Well, one thing for sure was just, I used to watch people like I'm very acutely aware that no one came to see me. You know what I mean? We were lucky to be with him, and you were coming to see Ace Frehley, right? That's his name back there. That's his name on the marquee. He's the guy, and we're just there to. We had a really good band. We'd always show up and do our homework, and make sure that we were headed down for him, no matter what we were. The one thing I learned though was just like how much. Not really as much learned as an observation was like how much joy he brought to everybody. It was really neat. Like I tried to never forget, like, how lucky we were to be doing it, even if it wasn't with Ace, just with anybody. Because a lot of people try to do this, and no matter how, it doesn't mean they're not good enough. It doesn't. It just means sometimes you're just not in the right place at the right time. And there are some amazing people out there that we're never going to. And to be with someone like him, and I would try to remember every night, just like, man, we're so lucky that people show up every night to come see him and in turn get to see us, and we get to see them. And it was just as fun watching the crowd as it was being on stage sometimes, so more than anything, I just learned that like his persona and his music, even if it's not him, it could be Jimmy Page, it could be Paul Stanley, it could be Robert, anybody. It's just like, man, those guys touch people.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a reason. I understand why people so are enamored by people like him or whatever, just because
he's such a talent too, and such an inspiration to so many players. And think of who he's inspired.
I was talking to someone earlier today that actually called me just to check in and said the same thing. He goes, look, I'm going to say this arguably, and again, we'll talk about your Hendrixes and your Jimmy Pages and all that kind of stuff. I mean, those guys are just godlike, and Ace loved them.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy that called me, who said, he goes, he may be the most, in our age group, the most influential guitarist there is, because he inspired so many millions of people to play guitar and all that. And I said, that's a good point. I said, because our age group, we looked at him through different eyes. You weren't just getting a guitar player, you were getting a superhero. When you're young and impressionable, that just goes so far, because it's more than music, I mean, they were fantasy, they were, I mean, like I said, superhero, they were musicians, they had cool songs, that kind of thing. So I can totally see when so many levels, some people that picked up the guitar might have done it just because they wanted to look like him and had no interest in playing. It was holding it.
Yeah, I mean, it was denim in rock and roll before, Ace came in wearing his armor, the smoking guitar. It's like, damn. Yeah, I mean, was he bringing that?
Oh yeah,
up until the very end.
Yep. And I promise you, we all took turns holding it with the smoke on and everything. We would, we all got to do that. And he also had that guitar during New York Groove. It's filled with lights.
Oh yeah.
And it just had a little button right here that he would pull on one of the knobs, and it would start to. And then people would just I mean, things
crazy.
Just showed up to see the smoke.
And he made everything look so easy. He's like the master of understatement in an over the top, band, or from an over the top band.
That's a real good way to describe him. Yeah, because they were over the top, and he was like meat and potatoes guitar.
Yeah, yep.
He really was, because he just, and people forget like how responsible he was for a lot of the staples in the Kiss set. Like he wrote Parasite, he wrote and obviously Shock Me, everybody knows.
Shock Me.
Strange Ways. I mean, there's just so much stuff that he wrote. And just because he didn't sing stuff in the early days doesn't mean he wasn't present in the song or anything. They really had to twist his arm to get him to sing.
Yeah.
And
his love was in the playing.
Yeah, yeah. And then you know, I will tell you, we got the chance one time to do. Remember when they did the 4 solo records?
Yeah.
1978. They each put out a solo record, and his by far, you know, they said it wasn't a competition, which, come on, it is.
It was an unspoken one.
Yeah, his did the best, and we got the opportunity one time to perform that record in its entirety
Oh, that's cool.
for a Kiss event. And man,
Yeah.
that's if anybody, I just started to remember that if anybody ever asked me what I wish we could have done besides
Yeah.
still now, I wish that we could have taken that on the road.
Yeah,
just,
that would have been very cool.
you know, those solo Kiss records in general, especially, you know, all the Kiss records up until '83, they were 30 minutes.
Right.
Short, easy records. And
Mm-hmm.
so I always said, man, we could come out and do the solo record in its entirety.
And anybody coming to an Ace show, they're coming for Ace. They would love that.
Yeah. But then we could still do at the end, we could do 5 more that were his. We could do Shock Me, New York, you know, New York Rooms, Shock Me, Parasite, Cold Gin, that kind of thing, and still do those. And then you have to do stuff like Love Gun and Detroit, even though he didn't write them, but they have those iconic Ace solos in them.
Yeah.
That knows. So we could have done a 78 solo and then done like those 5 songs, and it would have just been, you know, Kiss heaven.
If you had to, if you had to, how do I put this, distill Ace's entire, his swagger, his tone, his attitude in one song,
oh God,
any that you just mentioned, what would that be, or what would that riff be?
Oh, it got to be Shock Me.
Shock Me.
Because anyone that remembers Alive 2, that was the signature moment, like during the song. Like they play the song, Ace is singing it, he wrote it. It's got a riff. You know, he did get electrocuted before, so that's what the song's about. Kind of thing. But during the live version,
the life of a rock star.
Yeah. But during the live version of that song is when he gets his solo moment. And that's like one of the shining moments of Alive 2 that everyone just remembers to this day.
Yeah.
So I would say if you want to know Ace Frehley, go look at the 1977 show at the Summit in Houston, Texas, and check that out.
I'm going to watch that as soon as we're done now. Got to go check it out.
Oh, those shows are also, you know what? There's a guy that takes Pro Shot concerts from the era and remasters and does all this stuff. I'm going to send you the link to that show.
Oh, awesome. Perfect.
On YouTube.
I'll post it. Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. You'll love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is the single most important thing you would want generations that come after us to recognize Ace for?
I'm gonna change that just a little and say Ace and Kiss. Okay. Because I think from 73 to 79, 80, they were, even though they didn't always get along, they were like a fist.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have been what he was without them, and they couldn't have been what they were. You know what I mean? Right? It took all of them. It was the sum of all parts. It wasn't just one. And it's just that it takes, the most important thing is great songwriting, but there had already been some great songwriting before. The reason Kiss changed the landscape of everything was because of entertainment. And they wanted to make
100%.
sure that you had a blast and had fun. And, you know, productions are so huge and massive now. And awesome. And there's just, who knows where you're going to see the next time you go to SoFi or go to the, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
And back then, there was nobody, even I'm going to even dare say some of the stuff they did that was so over the top might seem pretty tame now. But
yes.
Life changing back then.
Yeah, it was.
You know,
they're you know, they're just their costumes. I mean, geez, I don't know if you've seen the video where I'm standing with the guys and I look like Wilson in Home Improvement because we were holding art in front of us.
Yeah.
And I'm going like I mean, I'm standing next to all of them in their 7 feet high. It was ridiculous. And I'm going like this. And, you know, I'm kind of tiny anyway.
Yeah. and
But
they're just
yeah, I
larger than
mean,
life in that stuff.
they just brought they just brought the cool, unique
Okay,
ideas. And
so when you walked in the room and saw them, you know, it made you feel a certain way, didn't it?
oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because like, and I'm not going to mention any other. I don't want to insult any bands because there's so many bands that you and I love that are
Hmm.
so good and so great and do it. But there's just when you walk into backstage to see them, it's your friends. It's like, hey, what's up? It's great, and you get kind of, and I get kind of real excited sometimes if it's someone that I don't know and really haven't. But when you walk in, you're seeing something completely different with the Kiss guys. I mean, just
Yeah.
being alone,
Yeah. That's so true.
they
Just
just they just
yeah.
give such a feeling in people that some bands just are never going to get to do, and you
Yep.
know, and the people that don't get it, I just can't try to explain it to them. It's like you either love French fries or you don't.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
but I mean, but you're the asshole. If you're the one who doesn't like French fries,
yeah,
you just look like an asshole.
totally. I know it. I know. But I'm so happy that you love the band too. It's fun to talk to you
Yeah.
about them. It makes it more fun for me to talk about them.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's gone, but we have his music. His music will be with us always.
I know. I know. I mean, and it's such a trip now because not just Ace, you can go find your favorite song or musician or anywhere now. It's so easy. It's in your phone. It's in your laptop. You can look it up on your smart TV. We can access so much footage and material from all these guys now. It's so great.
Yeah. Oh,
You know. So, and you know what the cool thing is?
it is.
Stuff showing up that I've never seen is now everyone's sending us stuff that they've had in their phone for 2 weeks or 5 years or so. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
you and when you guys played Times Square in New York, oh, I took this of you in Melbourne, Australia. I took this of you. You know what I mean? And it's like
Dang.
it's kind of making people go back, and it's kind of neat to see stuff that I'll be like, oh God, we did play there, or oh wow, I do remember
Mm-hmm.
that, or it's kind of neat. It's made everybody go back and kind of just want to revisit that moment where they got to see Ace.
Yeah,
So,
that's very cool. I mean, I would think that you've experienced, I mean, years with Ace,
yeah,
and it's probably a blur sometimes.
it
You
is.
guys are on the road and yeah, moving
Yeah,
from one thing to another.
it's Groundhog Day, and
Yeah.
our mantra has been everywhere, seen nothing.
Yeah.
It's true,
That's
right?
right.
Like, how was Paris? I don't know. I was there for a minute.
That sounds right, Ryan. That sounds right.
It's true.
Well, so what is next for you?
Man,
You've
it's so new, and so I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I don't know. I know what I want to do is just continue doing it. Um, One thing that made me feel really good uh, in the days of his accident, into his passing, into as recently as this morning. And again, I say this a lot, but you and I have a lot of mutual friends, and a lot of our mutual friends reach out to me and just to say, "Hey, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Hey, we're looking out for you. Hey, we're going to find you a gig. Hey, you're going to land somewhere." And then my friend this morning told me, he goes, "Dude, it's only been a week."
Yeah. Yeah, a week.
And to me, it feels like, because our last show for real was September 5th in Providence, Rhode Island.
That was the last one with Ace.
That was our last Ace show ever, unbeknownst, obviously. And
Mm-hmm.
then we had 10 days off, and then we were supposed to come to Lancaster, California, and he had an accident 2 days before that, so we had to cancel that show. And then I talked to him the next week, which was 1 week before I was supposed to fly to meet him for the next set of shows, and then he had his accident that night. So I haven't worked, been on stage since September 5th, but his passing's only been a week. It was whatever day last week was,
The 16th. Well, the funeral was on Wednesday.
16th, and then the service that I went to was last Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Can't remember. But anyway, so from the service to today, it's only been not even a week, but it's just like it feels like a year. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm ready.
Understandably so.
I just want. I'm trying to. We have that Kiss event coming up in Vegas next month that we'll be performing at, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody and just playing again.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. It's kind of like I don't want to commiserate or anything. I want it to be really fun, but misery does love company. Kind of sometimes it'll be cool to be around a ton of people who I understand why they're sad and vice versa. So it'll kind of be like a good just send off for Ace, I think.
Yeah, and it's fun to share stories with people who've experienced different things. And
I imagine what we're gonna get hit with when we get there.
You're gonna have to share with the class because I love these stories. They're awesome.
We'll have a part 2.
Absolutely, we will. We also need to. We need another Casa Vega catch up.
Please, when's that
Skinny
gonna happen?
margaritas.
The skinnies. We gotta do it. We gotta do
it.
I'm always a yes on that.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
We will plan that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
That sounds good, Ryan. Thanks for taking a minute, and we'll do it again.
Thank you. Any excuse to talk to you, I'm always down with.
We'll just make stuff up.
Okay, we will.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.